Well, hello there, Minecrafters. Thanks for coming by. We are continuing on with our Diversity Developers commentary. It's where I explain the solutions and the redstone and little secrets to Diversity, the map that I made. And we are continuing on with the puzzle branch. If you haven't seen any of the previous videos, I definitely recommend doing that. Don't watch this if you haven't played the branch, because I really don't want to ruin it for you. But if you're here because you've been enjoying the series, thanks for coming. Let's go into the puzzle branch and continue on with the next puzzle. I am just going to go into creative mode here and quickly go over to the puzzle that we are left off at. This here, the sheep puzzle we talked about last video. Definitely a little fun puzzle there. This one here, I had to devote an entire episode to because it is pretty complicated and stumped a lot of people, although with enough time, people solved it. But here's basically how you would come across it. You hit this, and we have. I'm going to switch to adventure mode. We have all this carpet. So obviously, we have to place it in the chest like before, like the previous puzzle. But okay, what do? We just orange maybe there. I don't know, green, brown. Blue, gray. Okay, nothing's happening. So I see these blocks here. They must mean something. I don't know. And we have wool on the floor, and this is the common pattern that we've been doing: the black, purple, white, blue, orange. So I have really no idea how to solve this. Whoa, what's going on here? Okay, so let me just stop here for a minute. Before, I recently changed this based on a recommendation by my friend Arsmalik, because I used to have, well, actually when I first released the map, I had nothing come up here because I kind of thought these blocks were a little obvious, but apparently they weren't. So I had you basically stand here and it would say G-U-B-E-D, goobed. You're goobed. But if you went backwards, it'd say debug. Debug, what does that mean? Well, that obviously means F3, the debug screen. Obviously not. Apparently, a lot of people don't know that the F3 is the debug screen. So, based on a recommendation by Arsmalik, I changed it to E. Here we go. E-M-O-I-B. I thought that was really obvious if I did that. I kind of had that idea before, but I didn't want to be too obvious. And hopefully that said, oh, wait a minute. B-I-O-M-E. Biome. Okay, biome. I'm in desert. What is biome? Whoa, what's going on here? Okay, wait a second. Black wool forest. Okay, well then that would mean that something for. Okay, well it must be the birch here. Forest. Okay, what's the orange? Mushroom Island. Well, that's obviously mycelium. Okay, blue is taiga, which would be snow. All right, white is hell, which is nether, or a netherrack. Yes, it's hell biome, guys, not nether biome. Sky, which is purple. Not the end biome, sky biome. So purple there. Let's put purple in, and I already did black, I think. Oh, we solved it! Yay! Wasn't that hard? Very quick little puzzle. But I made you think. Now, let me show you something here. We have 2 trap chests and 3 regular chests, and the only reason that's there is because that's how I can put single chests next together. No other reason. And if you place something in a trap chest while it's open, it won't go down, only because there is a hopper under there. And as we talked about in a previous video, hoppers do not accept items when they're being powered. That is why it won't pick that. So I'm going to show you the redstone behind this because it's kind of complicated. It's like a more yeah, and there's another clue. So if you looked up, you could see the black sky. It's more complicated than it's basically these ones. We went over that in a previous video. It's more complicated than that, but it's quite the contraption. And then we're not going to have enough time to go into the next puzzle, which is that funny archway puzzle, which there is a definite solution to that, but I've never seen anybody solve it properly that way. But I will explain that next time. Anyway, let's show you the redstone behind this, because it's pretty cool. Okay, so in order to break down this puzzle, there's a few elements we need to discuss. So first off, the give the carpet thing, very easy little command here, a bunch of command blocks. Clear first so that you don't get extra carpet, and then it goes around both ways in this circle, and gives you every single carpet, because I don't want to discriminate against any colors, but also I want to kind of throw you off and give you more colors than you need, just to make it a little bit more difficult. So that's the simple thing about this puzzle, but the next step is the whole biome specific blocks. And you see in my B there under F3, the debug screen, or F3, changes there depending on which and I'm not going to go into MC Edit to show you how to do it, because it's really simple, but it is a filter by Seth Bling, very useful filter where you can change one block vertically up and change all those blocks to any biome that you want. And we have the sky, which is the end. They use it in the end, but it's the sky biome. And that's how that's achieved. So the next thing we're going to just discuss is how we get the letters to pop up here like this. So automatically, without touching a button or a pressure plate, it's all player detected. And that is this little guy right here, this item spawner. You can see when I step away from it, well, you got to be pretty close for it to activate. That's just so that we kind of eliminate as much lag as we can. But unless you hop up on here, you won't activate it. And then it kind of gives you a hint there, the new biome hint. But before it was the debug hint. Either way, it was a hint. And what that item spawner there does is it spawns all the way down here to this little contraption here, onto this pressure plate, and activates that clock, and that clock constantly fires on these command blocks. And these command blocks are the test for command, and they're testing for the player to be within one block of this coordinate, which is basically on top of those biome specific blocks. And if they are there, then this comparator says, yep, they're there, I'm going to fire on me asterisk. Me asterisk. And the reason that's me asterisk is because there you go. I renamed it the letter, and I kind of like the me command. If you want to get away from that square bracket look, this is another way to do it. I use it for, depending on how I want to convey a message. That's how it does it. So basically, it just goes B-I-O-M-E or D-E-B-U-G, depending on what version you had. And where you're standing, these test for commands will say, yep, I'm going to fire on and make that appear. So, yeah, very, very cool little player detected sort of thing with no buttons. I definitely like that. Now, this contraption here is where we're going to next, and it is going to take a bit of explaining to do. And I remember when I posted a picture of it on Twitter, I got Honest Stuff's left a message, or he made a picture of an internet meme or mem? I can't pronounce it, but with the picture and the words, and it's pretty fun. It was like Toy Story said. He said, "Hoppers, as far as the eye can see," or something. Made me laugh. But yeah, I was really happy with this thing when I was so excited when it worked. I was like fist pumping the air. Yes, it works! It works! But we'll go into that next. I'm gonna break it down for you, hopefully a little bit, but it might be a little confusing. So I definitely recommend watching the episode where we talked about the first carpet puzzle, because it does use basically the same mechanics in it. Anyway, let's continue on, and I'll break this down. Okay, quickly to go over, this is kind of a review from one of the last puzzles here, but I'm going to show you how you can have a signal constantly fire and then later empty a dispenser. So if I just, let's see, let's just put this item in. I've got this set up so that if any item goes into this dropper, or it could be a dispenser, whatever you want, it will fire on signal. So here we go. We've got 1 dust. And I'm not sure how many. I guess it has to be the same as before, right? So if you remember our video, our episode with the other carpet puzzles, the same thing. You have to have, I think it's probably the same number. It's got to be the same amount, right? 18, 1, no, 19, 20. I guess it's a little different on droppers. Where is it? Come on. Find the threshold. There we go. 36. Okay, it's still activated. I'm just going to find that threshold. 34. 31. Okay, no. And 32. 33. There we go. 34. There. Okay, there's our threshold. Okay. So that hopper, or that dropper there, is set to fire 1 extra and hit that repeater on, which will activate this piston. And this is the system I came up with to contain a threshold and then eliminate 1 extra item. Now remember, we have to have a clock, but what I wanted to show you is you can have a clock constantly firing at something and not remove that dispenser until you get the proper amount. So if I put 1 more in there, there we go, we're out and we're still at the threshold. And that is how this whole system works on resetting the good versus the bad versus the ugly, I guess. But I wanted to show you that you can have your signal constantly going into it, and unless you make that connection with the piston, same way that first cover puzzle works, piston has to be in place to make that dropper disappear. So next we're going to go underneath and we're going to look at the contraption, and I'm going to try my best to explain how it works. Okay, good luck for me. Alright, now we're going to dismantle the monster, hopefully. Now let me show you here. What they do is they come down. This is where the chests sit. So if I just puncture that, see all the chests are up there. And the reason we have so many hoppers is just to spread it out for the mechanism, the gizmo, the contraption, whatever you want to call it, the system. They come down here and you can see they all split off separately. That's why we have so many hoppers, so that we don't get the wool mixed up. Now, each one of these is basically one of those, but they all have a resetting system together. So let's start at the back here. The easy AND gate here. This hopper here needs purple, so if I put 1 extra purple in, it turns off that torch, and then you'll see all these torches have to be off, which then activates the door. So just like last episode, we talked about the sheep puzzle where we had the AND gate, where we have to have multiple torches powered or depowered to get 1 input or 1 output. Same thing here. These 5 torches have to be out to get the line, the wire off there, or the redstone dust turned off there, which will reverse the torches and open the door. And it's sort of part of a bit more complicated system, but that's the simple area of the AND gate. So I'm going to show you here what happens with a... Oh, we got something in there? We got 2. Oh, I just added that one. I don't remember. Okay. When 1 gets added here, you can see the purple carpet is in the right one, so it's coming down here, down the chute. And remember from episode 1, if it's sideways, it can go that way. If it's a hopper underneath that will accept, then we can do it. I guess if you had a bunch of sponge, you could like blow through this map easy because I use it so often. But we also have that resetting dropper system here that I used in the first carpet puzzle. This is the second carpet puzzle. So it works the same. We turn that on, it fires past the threshold and pushes this piston into place. So every time we have a right answer, we do 2 things. We push the piston into place and we depower the torch. So if the pistons are in place, that doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's not a bad thing. But the torches have to be off. You can see it pushed in place. The torch is off, and we can win this if we put all the right ones in. But if you put a wrong one in, that's where we get the resetting system. So just before, when we talked about that, putting a piston into place and putting a clock on and firing it off, that is how this system works. Is this piston gets pushed into place so that if it's a right answer, we can get rid of the right one. You have to kind of start from scratch. But what's going to happen here is the wrong answers go down here, and they into this dropper here. And what's going to happen is the comparator on this side will say, yeah, I've got something in here. It'll fire off the repeater, which all these repeaters are kind of mirrored. They all go the same direction. And they go up here and they split off to a couple directions. The first one, they go to a clock, and the clock goes around here and constantly fires these droppers, so we empty them and we don't have anything left over in them. So if you were to put like a stack, we need to constantly fire it off, because it's not, if you don't put a clock in, it will fire off like one and it won't fire off the rest. The other thing it does is it splits off here onto another clock, and we have that same delay that we did in the episode where we talked about the first carpet puzzle. That same delay here, and like I did upstairs here, or up, I guess no stairs, but up top there, it's going to fire this, and if there isn't an item in, like if there's not over the threshold here, then it doesn't matter, because that piston is not in place, so we're not going to get rid of any extra items. So I'll just show you. If I put the wrong one in, we're going to show you this will fire, but yeah, there we go. So we don't make any extra connection, but the one that we did, I think it was this one here, right? It's down to 1 again, because this clock is firing on all 5 of these pistons, and if they're in place, it's going to empty that dropper there, or it's going to empty the hopper, because it's going to fire one out of the dropper. The hopper will drop down, and you'll see here we have 1 extra, and whoops, there we go. It's in place, and then I'll put a wrong one in, put 1 wrong one in, and you'll see it'll fire off. There we go. So it moves out of place. So that just kind of prevents it from you just filling up hoppers to finish the puzzle, but it'll always leave that 1 in there, so you know you got 1 left, so you can match the right answer. So yeah, it's I'm proud of it. Like I was so excited when I built it, fist pump in the air. But it's complicated, but it is probably the coolest thing I've built, I think, in Minecraft. Either that or the last puzzle, which we will get to eventually. But yeah, I hope that made sense for you. I'm sorry if I didn't explain it right. It's pretty difficult to explain the thought process, but I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, next time we are going to look at our archway puzzle, the doorway puzzle, which definitely has a specific solution to it. It's not trial and error, but I have not seen anybody solve it properly, like I said. And we're also going to go into the life and death puzzle, which I think most people pretty much love that. Like, it's easy. You got to use your brain just a little bit. Very simple to solve, and by the time you get it, it's kind of over. Maybe I should have put more in. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Developers commentary on diversity. I've been having a lot of fun talking to you guys about my map. And if you have any questions about any other topics, obviously we'll probably get to everything in the map, hopefully. I don't know how many episodes that's going to be, because I want to do all the branches. But put your questions in the comments, because I love hearing from you guys. And I've also gotten some interesting advice on how to improve different redstone mechanisms that I've made. So appreciate that too. Obviously I'm not the smartest. I'm always looking for new knowledge in Minecraft and redstone, but I enjoy it immensely. Anyway, I will see you next time. Enjoy your Minecrafting.